Good afternoon, welcome. This is ECOWAS Radio. We broadcast to you from Monrovia, the Liberian capital. And of course, we are broadcasting to you on 91.5 FM and other frequencies around the country. Wherever you are, I want to say welcome to this special edition of The Drive. And of course, today on this special edition, we're going to be playing host to the Procurement Director of the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia office. We're going to be talking basically about his role as a procurement officer and also the Millennium Challenge Account office in Liberia, their own working and how they function as an institution in Liberia. So today we are honored to have with us Jacob Slewion. He's the Procurement Director of Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia. And my name is Augustine Hammerberg. So, Mr. Slewion, welcome to ECOWAS Radio. It's a pleasure to have you here this afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Hammerberg.
Okay, a lot of people will be listening to the radio right now and perhaps might be thinking to say, what actually is the work of Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia? What do you people do? Tell us about that institution.
Let me use the opportunity to give you a little bit of backdrop as to where this Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia comes from.
Okay.
So the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which is an arm of the United States government that gave grants for financial assistance to reduce poverty through economic growth, has a program that is set to give money or grant to African countries and some countries basically that are below certain level of economic growth, to help them speed up their economic growth. So Millennium Challenge Corporation have set like 20 indicators that it grade countries on. So Liberia from like 2006 has been a part of this process, because what happens is out of the 20 indicators that are set by the Millennium Challenge Corporation, if any country passes 10 with control of corruption and rule of law inclusive, you will get a grant for development assistance.
Okay.
So Liberia started that process about 2006. Around 2013, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning organized a project and formed a team to specifically look towards these indicators and make sure that Liberia is qualified. So that project was established. That project was called the National Millennium Compact Development Project. That project had two teams. One team was the core team that was responsible to do the project design for Liberia. The other team was the team that was responsible to make sure that the government of Liberia becomes eligible by passing 10 of the 20 indicators. So the work went on for a very long time, and at the end of the entire process, Liberia became qualified rather, to get a grant from the United States government.
And that was what year?
That year was 2015, October 2nd.
Okay.
Liberia signed that compact, because from 2013, 2014, 2015, Liberia had begun to pass 10 indicators.
Okay.
So that program was set. Now this Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia is a result of those efforts that were made under that, arrangement. Yeah. So the core team that I told you about was responsible to develop what we call the economic analysis for Liberia. What are those factors that are constraining Liberia's growth? And out of that analysis, we found that two things, electricity and road, were two burning factors that were hindering Liberia's growth. So as a result, a project was designed around addressing those two constraints. So the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia was funded in 2016 by the National Legislature after a compact was signed with the American government in the tune of $256 million.
Okay.
Now, when that compact became signed, there was a need for an organization to be able to implement this project. So the Millennium Challenge Account was formed to implement this project. The project has two objectives: to make sure that they provide access to more affordable electricity. As you can see, because of this project, the hydro is now completed, and EDC is now rolling out electricity to parts of the city and beyond. And the second was to improve the planning and execution of routine, periodic, and emergency road maintenance. Most of the times we build these roads, but there is no plan
to maintain
those roads. So the project has those two targets. So Millennium Challenge Account is the organization that was established by the Liberian government to implement this project of 257 million, targeting these two constraints.
Good. Now, you're the procurement director of that project. Now, tell us about your role as a procurement director.
Well, this is a big project. So my role here now is
It's very huge.
Yeah, very huge. You have to spend $256 million on these critical projects. My role is to ensure that all of the procurements that are done on this project are in line with the prescribed procurement policies that have been set by the Millennium Challenge Corporation. It is my business now to regulate the atmosphere of doing procurements on this project, making sure they are in compliance with the set procurement laws.
So what will be or are the guiding principles, surrounding the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia procurement process?
So the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which is a United States foreign aid entity, right, has developed its own procurement rules called the Millennium Challenge Corporation Program Procurement Guidelines. For short, it's called the MCC-PPG. Those guidelines are premised upon 4 points. If you want to do procurement under the MCC-PPG, you have to follow these 4 guiding principles. One is open, fair competition. There is no way you can do procurement under the project. For example, Hamilton is my friend, man. The guy is selling some very good stuff, man.
Stationaries or whatever.
Yeah, I just call him up and say, look, Hamilton, do you have some stationaries? Bring it, man. I have a project that is running. We got some money. No. You have to follow an open and fair competitive process. The second thing is that because every time you want to buy something, you have to know what you want to buy. The second principle is a clear and accurate description of the goods, the works, or the services to be procured. If you are the seller and I tell you, say, I want a car, without giving you the technical and performance requirement of that car, you can give me any car.
Yep.
So one of the guiding principles for this procurement guideline is to make sure that whoever wants to buy something on the project describe clearly what they want to buy, so that the buyers, the seller out there can have an understanding as to what you want. The third guiding principle is that contracts will only be awarded to only qualified and capable suppliers who are willing to do the work. The fourth guiding principle under this procurement guideline is what we call price reasonableness. Look, take for example, I told you what I want to buy. You have come to bid along with others. I have made a determination that the quality I'm looking for, you have it, this may have it, this other vendor has it. Now I have to go to price. It is illogical to pay $100 for something that another man is selling $75 and it meets the same technical requirement. So one other guiding principle under this thing is to make sure that you do a price reasonable analysis before those contracts are issued. So this is the kind of procurement guidelines that we use for the MCA-Liberia procurement processes.
So is there the specific reliance of using those principles?
So we are bound by the compact. The compact is the generic law that even gave birth to the establishment of the MCA-Liberia. In that compact section 3.6a, it clearly states, and I quote, the government will ensure that the procurement of all goods, works, and services by the government, in this case the Government of Liberia, or any provider to implement the program will be in accordance with the MCC program procurement guidelines, unquote. So the compass sets the pace for using these procurement guidelines.
But here's another complex situation, all right? The Liberian government or Liberia has a national procurement policy or procurement law called the Public Procurement and Concession Act. That's the PPCC.
Yeah.
Now, why are not your procurement subject to those laws?
So, 2 reasons. One reason is that the guiding principle for this compact or this agreement states that we must use another procurement law. But that is not in contrast to what even the Liberian procurement law says. According to the Liberian procurement law, this is section 3A. That law has a scope of coverage, the Liberian procurement law, which is called the Public Procurement and Concessions Act. In its scope of coverage, it covers all sorts of areas that applies. But Section 3 talks about non-application, and it lists 3 areas under which the PPCA does not apply. And Section 3A of that PPCC law, it says, and I quote, "This act shall however not apply to an international agreement concluded by the Government of Liberia and other countries or international organizations for general or specific projects, where this agreement provide for specific procurement rules and procedures."
Okay.
Like I said, the compact already said, use the PP, use the MCC, PPG. And the Liberian law say, okay, if you have an international agreement, and the agreement says that you must use a specific procurement law, then the Liberian procurement law does not apply.
In this case.
In this case.
So that makes you to operate legitimately.
I'm in a legal environment, bro.
Okay. All right, that's good. Now, are there any other arrangements that guide your procurement process?
Yes, so when this grant was given and the Liberian government signed this agreement with the United States government through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, there were certain arrangements that were put in place. Hey, look, the procurements you are about to do on these projects are huge. But for us to have confidence in the process, we need some fiduciary agent agreement services. What that means? Go and hire an international procurement firm who will do all of the procurement operations for MCA-Liberia.
So you have an international procurement?
I have an international procurement firm.
What's the name of that?
The international procurement firm is called Cardinal Emerging Markets. We did a whole procurement process and they came up as the winner. So right now they conduct the entire procurement operations of MCA-Liberia. My role, they report to me because there is country ownership. So all of their procurement actions come to me for review and approval before final actions are taken. But we have an international procurement firm that run the procurement.
Okay, if you've just joined us, this is ECOWAS Radio. You are listening to this special edition of Drive Time. With us this afternoon is the Director of Procurement at the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia office. We're talking basically about Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia and its procurement policies. Now, let's focus a bit on your procurement processes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an instrument that authorizes you to carry out procurement?
Let me backtrack a little bit. I did work at the PPCC. I serve as the Director for Compliance and Monitoring.
So you have long
I'm around right. So, under the Liberian procurement law, nobody does procurement without making a procurement plan. A procurement plan is simply a list of the activities to be executed for purchasing. And that list has to get approved. Similarly, under the MCC PPG procurement guidelines, we are also entitled to prepare what we call a procurement plan. This project we're talking about has 2 sections, roads and electricity. So all of these sector directors have to now collate their needs. Those things they need to buy to help further the execution of the project. Those lists is compiled and it has to be approved by the MCA-Liberia Board and the Millennium Challenge Corporation. Nothing gets purchased that is not on our approved plan. In fact, one of the caveats that MCC said is simple. If you want a disbursement for the next quarter, show me your approved procurement plan. What that means is, if I unilaterally, as the procurement director for MCA-Liberia, say, you know what I mean, let's go and just buy this thing, man, and it's not approved, it means I'm going to store the entire process because Millennium Challenge Corporation is not going to release a dime until they ensure that all of the items on that plan are approved and sanctioned by them and the MCA-Liberia Board. So that is the instrument that guides our procurement process.
Sounds very transparent. Now, how and when do you initiate a procurement process?
So when all of these needs are collated by the sector directors and the plan is approved, what it says now is that, hey, look, we're ready to go and buy. So when a sector director is ready to buy anything, he now sits down and gives us a clear description of what he wants to buy. That description is either a TOR, a terms of reference, is a statement of work, is either a bill of quantity or it is just a specification. Those specifications or bill of quantities or TOR must be clear by my office and the consulting firm that I have. Once those are clear, and we make sure that you're not trying to be biased. We know you want to buy a car, but don't tell me you want to buy a Toyota car. I'm not going to approve that. I want you to tell me the kind of car you want to buy based on its technical and performance requirement. I want a car with 4-door, fine. Nissan has a 4-door, Toyota has a 4-door, Isuzu has a 4-door.
Can they go into challenging terrains and all this kind of stuff?
Okay, so tell me if you want a car for rough terrain, tell me a car that is built for off-road. Don't give me the name of a car. So the idea is, because as I told you earlier, the process is based on an open competition.
Yeah.
You don't want to use your specification or the definition of what you want to exclude others. So we have to ensure that that specification is clear. When it is clear, you now put it into what we call the procurement requisition. It gets signed and approved. It goes to the procurement agent. They go and purchase whatever you need.
Okay, then paint for us a picture of the various steps and processes that lead to an award of contract.
So
on your whole procurement process.
It's even some of my sector directors will always say, procurement is just a waste people time. But procurement is not wasting anybody's time. Procurement is to ensure that the expansion of this money is done in a way that doesn't bring trouble to the country. So the process might seem long and cumbersome, but it saves you from trouble. So the first thing that I want to see in my procurement process is a clear TOR, a clear scope of work, a clear BOQ when it comes to construction, a clear specification when it comes to off-the-shelf goods. That needs to be clear. After that, what I will do next is I will send a specific procurement request or specific procurement notice to the vendors. I want to buy cars. So let me publish this. I need 5 cars. I take this to the newspapers, I take it to my website, I take it to some international sites. MCA-Liberia is arrived to buy cars. The reason why I'm doing this specific procurement notice is to fulfill that part of the guiding principle that say the procurement will be based on open and fair competitive process. So as much as possible, I will have to publish that I want to buy this.
And allow other vendors to come in.
And allow qualified vendors and supplier of those goods and services I'm looking for to come and bid. The more the better.
Yep. So might just offer better or cheaper.
I always give the example to my
So
class.
in that case, the cheaper the better, or what? What do you?
No. That process is not about the cheaper or the cheapest. The process is designed to get the best value for money. So take this. If you have one person supplying stuff in the market, what happens to the price of that thing that is being supplied? The price is always high. Usually when I teach my economic classes, I give the example when it comes to monopoly and competition.
Monopoly and competition.
Yeah, you know what?
Supply and demand,
just
all that kind of stuff.
Think about Lone Star when Lone Star came like 1997, 1998.
The only company.
They were the only company. We're buying a SIM for $65 US.
You dance according to the rhythm.
But when the market opened up, what really happened with buying SIM free is not it's a promotional item, it comes with the form.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of competition. Don't tell me that the quality, the services you're receiving out of these GSS services are not of quality. They may look cheap, but they have quality that what competition does. So we have to publish the thing to bring as many people on board as possible, so that we can have the best value for money. The third thing I want to do is I will have to put all of my requirements in what we call a request for proposal or a bidding document, and publish it and send it out to anyone who's interested. I will even tell people, if you are interested, this is the procurement, let me know you're interested, I'll send a bidding document to you. The information is on the international platform, it's on my website, it's in the local dailies. The next thing I need to do now, when I publish this RFP and people are coming to submit bids, I'm supposed to start now thinking about what we call the technical evaluation panel. You see, when these bids come, it is not my responsibility as procurement director to go and look into the bids and say, you know what, Mr. Hammerberg company won. No. I take an independent panel. Those with the requisite skills. Say, for example, I'm purchasing vehicles. I'm looking for auto electricians and auto mechanics who know about vehicle. to sit down and assess those vehicles and tell me, say, the bid you set or the standards you set, we measure the standards against these submissions, this is the best. The reason why you're doing that is because when you're sick, you don't go to an accountant, you go to a doctor. So when I'm setting up my technical evaluation panel, I want the subject matter experts to look at these submissions and put it against my standards and tell me that this is the winner. That panel has to be set. Submission deadline, at the end of the submission deadline, we do a public opening. And all these are just to speak to the fact that it should be open, fair, and transparent. So if you're interested, you can come to the opening. At the opening, we open this company submitted, this company submitted, this company submitted. So everybody knows who's a part of the process. The next thing we need to do is, and this is very key, we do a partial eligibility check. 16 companies send bids. The procurement agent that I got, the consultant I'm talking about, it is their responsibility to take all of those names individually, those firms' names, and put it into certain systems. We have to have like 4 different sites, rigid assessment sites. You put your company name there. Bro, when your company name come out as a bad company, no way. We're dropping you right there. We're dropping you. You are off. Because these eligibility checks are the same kind of thing people do when you're looking for employment, right?
Yeah.
When they're about to offer you the job,
They do background check.
they do background check. They're not even telling you.
Yeah.
So this is what we do. We make sure that these people are people who are credible, who can perform, who has a history, who has the financial capability to execute the project. If there is any fault found at this point, at the partial eligibility, you are dropped. We need to get companies over who have the quality and have the integrity. This technical evaluation panel makes its report. In the report is a recommendation. We've looked at everything. This company is the winner based on the standard set. That report now is reviewed by me, approved by the MCA CEO, and if it is a very large contract, it's also approved by the Millennium Challenge Corporation.
Okay.
After that approval, we have a negotiation with the winner. Because sometimes, after all the procurement process, the man submitted a bid that he will have these certain engineers on a project. At the end of the process, you want to ensure whether he still has those engineers that he proposed to be on the team. Because the bid were evaluated based on those engineer CVs. So if they are not available, then that's a problem. We have to call in for a negotiation and say, look, these are your key staff. Is everybody in tight? Can you start at this time? When can you momo last? When can you come in country? When can you start? When that is settled and we have an agreement, we notify every other person who are part of the process. Hey, we are awarding the contract to company X.
Okay.
Don't wait for 5 days. Somebody might say, hey, look, what are you talking about? I feel cheated. So that 5 days is a waiting period.
So, even if you trying to be part of the bidding process, you have a right to even speak if you realize or see any discrepancies in the process.
In the process, I feel aggrieved. I think the process, something went wrong. There was a fraud.
It wasn't done justly.
It wasn't done justly. I'm challenging this thing. We give you 5 days. After we tell you, say, complaint X, we give you 5 days. We wait. But make sure you have a course.
Don't waste our
The
time.
burden of proof lies with the accuser. So come with all of the proof here. But if not the 5 day lapses, we sign a contract and move ahead.
Are there any bidding process you having now, and what is it? Because I know a lot of reputable companies are out there. They might be listening to the radio right now and say, "Oh yeah, these people process is so transparent, and I'm waiting for the next bidding process." So, do you have any bidding process coming up?
There are a lot. In fact, some are already being published. There are a lot, but I may not be able to itemize them.
So they can look in the local dailies?
They can look in the local dailies, one. They can also check on our website.
Yeah, the website is perhaps preferable.
It's preferable. It's www.mca.gov.lr. So all of our procurements are listed on the site. Just go to the tab that says procurements. There's a drop down menu. You will find everything we're doing.
So how does interested firm desirous of taking advantage of your procurement opportunities do so?
You always check on our site. We also make use of the Public Procurement Concessions website. We make use of the executive mansion website. We make use of the local dailies. Then we have 2 international sites that we must publish also is a requirement for MCC. The UN Business Development website and the DG Market website. All of our procurements are listed there. In fact, the reason why we do this, we want everyone who is qualified to supply whatever we're looking for to come. Because we know when there are many, we'll get the best.
Okay, let's see if we can open the lines. We've been having a problem with our telephone lines. It's been a bit faulty, but I don't know if it's working. But if you have the chance to call and if it goes through, well, thank goodness for that. But you can call us if you are interested in asking any question relating to our discussion. You can call us on 0770-314-433 or 0770-316-495. So once again, let me call the numbers: 0770-314-433, 0770-316-495. We've been experiencing some technical problems with our lines, but I hope that we'll have the chance to, maybe if it's working, because our technicians are working very hard to restore the lines. Let's talk about contracts awarded so far in the compact. Now, what are the total contracts awarded and their value?
Okay, we started operation effectively January of 2017. From January of 2017 up to today's date, we've issued contracts in the tune of $26,152,947.63.
Okay, so how many of those are goods, services, contracts, and their values?
Interestingly, goods and services is of the lower value, is $497,502 worth of contracts all awarded for goods and services.
You guys been spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I also want to know about the consulting services contracts, their value as well.
And this is the largest chunk because most of what the project does is consultancy. So we have a tune of 25 million.
Wow.
665.
That's consulting services.
That's consulting services. Those consulting services include.
So who are the consultants?
Various consultants doing different things. Like I have a consultant who, like I told you about, who is doing the procurement.
Yeah, an international consultant.
International consultant firm who is doing the procurement for Liberia. There are consultants that are managing the plant, that utility plant called the LEC, the Liberia Electricity Corporation. There's a consultancy firm that is managing that firm. There is also a third-party monitoring consulting firm who monitors the work that is done by that consultant who manages that utility. All these are high-level international.
So every procurement process has its own consulting firm, or
no? You mean every procurement you do?
Yeah, because you're talking about consulting services. Maybe one person is looking at road development, the other person perhaps looking at environmental service, the other person perhaps looking at good governance, your project surrounding your project.
Yeah, each of those projects have consultants working on across all of those projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we'll ask now, how many of those working contracts and their value? Talking about the working contracts and their value, how many
works? Do you have? Our rules, the aspect of our project that relates to rules is still not yet getting off the ground. There are some technical issues and they are being worked on, but so up to today's date we have spent $0 on rules.
No money has been
no money. So, but I'm sure this year, next year, we'll begin to spend some money on roads. Yeah. The roads maintenance.
Because dry season is the time people normally talk about road construction. But anyway, it's been a nice discussion. Is there any other thing you want us to rap about that perhaps didn't pop up in my questions?
Well, I just want to say the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia is here to serve Liberia. One of our objectives is to make sure that we attain economic growth and poverty reduction by rehabilitating our hydro. Is a key factor to spurring economic growth.
Energy is very
Energy. You will find out that most of the firms around here, most of the companies around here, burn a lot of fuel to keep their business running. So with the hydro up and running, and we can have all these large customers on that, it brings down the operational cost. When the operational cost come down, of course, the cost of the services will also come down. So I want to encourage Liberians to take advantage of these opportunities. Liberians who have the skills, who have the knowledge, who have the experience in any procurement we put out, we encourage you to come forth.
So just continue to check the website.
Continue to check the website. We always have updated information about all of our procurements on the website.
Jacob Slewion is the Procurement Director of Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia. He's been telling us about the procurement processes of that institution, and also been drilling us through the work of Millennium Challenge Corporation, their work in Liberia, and how they have been functioning. Thank you so much for taking enough time to, summarize and give us an understanding of your own procurement processes. It's been a very interesting discussion. Thank you so much for stopping by to talk to us.
Thank you, Mr. Amrabera.